Hello everybody, E here. Today we are talking about, this is the first in a series of Joe Hill reviews. Today we're talking about his first published work, 20th Century Ghosts. Named, of course, after the lead-in, well actually maybe it's not the lead-in, it's probably the second story now that I think about it. 20th Century Ghost. Okay, so you start off the book with an introduction from Christopher Golden about how great Joe Hill is and all that good stuff. What I'm going to talk today about is Joe Hill's inception into the literary world. The very first time Joe Hill is mentioned is in Stephen King's The Shining. If you look at the let's see here, if you look at the dedication, it says to Joe Hill King, and that's all the way back to the first edition. Okay, so the first time he was outed was way back in the 1970s when The Shining was put up. So if you put two and two together, it wasn't that hard to come to a conclusion, especially since he looks just like his dad. His first outing, he wrote a lot of short stories, moving his way up through the literary ladder, until finally William Morrow picked up his short story collection. This is one of the best short story collections I have read in, I don't know, probably ever. Other than Clive Barker's Books of Blood and Stephen King's Night Shift, I would think those would be my top three short story collections of all time. This one would probably be number two. And it's mainly for a few stories. Not all of them are great, but the ones that are great, well, they really steal the show. Best New Horror, the very first story is great. A lot of people don't like the ending. I think the ending fits as the story progresses. I think that's the only way he could have ended it. Another standout to me, of course, I talked about this in my review of Strange Weather, but Pop Art is a terrific story. The level of imagination in that story, it's great. He turns something completely insane and impossible into something that feels like an everyday occurrence. It's like you feel like you could have actually had a friend that was a friggin' balloon. You Will Hear the Locust Sing is a rewriting of Kafka's The Metamorphosis, just with a little more action, a little more going on. It's another one of the ones that I thought was a great story. I think Hill did a better job with the actual Metamorphosis than Kafka did. I know those are strong words, but that's how I feel. The Black Phone was terrific. I like that one. I like the mounting dread of that story. The Cape is another one that's great. But I think the standout here for me, I had to go back again. The standout, I always forget the name of this one. Let's see, Last Breath. Last Breath was a standout for me. Fantastic short story. This is one of those short story collections that I suggest readers read from the front to the back. Don't jump out of order. Read them all straight through. Okay. So what did you think? Are you a Joe Hill fan? Do you like Joe Hill's work? Did you like this collection? Maybe you like his short stories, you don't like his novels. You like his novels, you don't like his short stories. Just let me know your thoughts on Joe Hill. Let's try to keep Stephen King out of the equation. I'm going to talk more about that connection later, especially with horns when we get there. But try to keep Stephen King out of it for now. Let's see if we can just talk about Hill, okay? Down in the doobly-doo. See you guys there. Until next time, I have been E, you've been you. This has been a Joe Hill review. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.